We just ended this past season. So there's a lot of time, and this list could change. But I do think it's important based on the expectations heading into next year and what happened this previous year. I can make a pretty damn good list about who is under the most pressure. So let's begin with the first one, which I think deserves to be on this list, the Jacksonville Jaguars. How high is their pressure meter? Well, I think it's about 25%, and I think it focuses a lot on Trevor Lawrence. He was paid 5 years, $275 million. That's an average annual value of $55 million per year, and at the time, it was tied for the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And he went 2 of 8 this past season, looked terrible with a great rookie wide receiver, and really completely fell apart this season. Now, let's be honest here. He's in the worst division in football, and if people want to talk about his one winning season because he went 8-8 the previous year, or last year, I should say, not this past year, but the year before, he went 8-8 because he got hurt in week 16 or week 17, so he didn't play in that one. 2023, he went 8-8, so he only really has one winning season in his entire career. The last time we saw him, he went 2-8, and Mac Jones at times outplayed him this past season. But let's talk about the past 2 seasons. He has a 10-16 record, just below a 64% completion percentage, 32 touchdowns, 21 interceptions, and 87.4 passer rating. And honestly, and this is just facts, not opinion, he is Daniel Jones. He is a more expensive version of Daniel Jones. So we could take a look at Trevor Lawrence and say, well, the potential is there. The potential for him being a generational talent is there. Show it to me. The worst division in football. And Daniel Jones had significantly less talent than Trevor Lawrence has had his entire career. Daniel Jones had 1 year of a decent wide receiver who was just coming into the NFL. So show me where he's worth $55 million per year. Earn his money. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Indianapolis Colts. How on fire are they? Where's the thermometer at? Let's go to 35%, and mainly let's focus on Anthony Richardson here. Because Colts GM Chris Ballard hasn't quite given up on Richardson yet. But the Colts are expected to bring in some quarterback competition in the offseason. So that means that clearly they don't trust him, and rightfully so, because he can't complete a singular pass beyond 25 yards. He did have the highest average depth of target this season, but he had, and this is crazy when you think about it, last year's 47.7% completion percentage is ranked 207th out of 221 quarterbacks that were within their first 2 years who started at least 11 games. 207 out of 221 in their first 2 years. This past season, Anthony Richardson put up that number. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Let's expand it a little bit. Let's increase the sample size here. In two seasons, Richardson has missed a total of 1 full NFL season. He's missed 17 games so far in 2 years, which is crazy. But let's speak about those 2 seasons because he is 305th out of 373 players in career completion percentage for players who started for at least 2 seasons and started at least 15 games. He doesn't complete passes. This can't be your franchise quarterback when he can't complete a singular pass. Joe Flacco outplayed him. We talk about the Steelers early in the season when their defense was at its peak. And we always defend Justin Fields and how well he played. You know who outplayed him? Joe Flacco, who was the starting quarterback for a decent portion and also replaced Anthony Richardson because Richardson got benched, Joe Flacco. So if an aging quarterback who is coming a year off his couch winning comeback player of the year is outplaying you and then they replace him for you, not a great look. You had one really good game against the New York Jets. We have to realize Mac Jones did a number on the New York Jets this season and throughout his career with the Patriots. So just going to throw it out here. It's not Madden. Including myself. I always look for one-play touchdowns. Anthony Richardson's trying the exact same damn thing. It isn't Madden. Complete a pass maybe under 25 yards, then you'll increase your completion percentage and be probably a decent quarterback. But I have yet to see it. Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts are 35%. Let's move on to the next team, the New York Giants. How hot are they? Well, let's go to about a 70 here. Because guess what? The only reason why they're this hot is because they're going to fire everybody. Everybody's going to get fired. Because they have the hardest schedule entering next season. You have no quarterback, no running back, a not good offensive line, one real weapon, a defense that was improved. However, they were 27th in running defense. When you have a trench filled with Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Lawrence, you have beefy guys on the defensive front, and you're 27th against the run. Remember the offensive line that was upgraded? Once Andrew Thomas went down, they were dead last in the NFL. From week 7 on, the worst pass-blocking offensive line in the NFL. Now going into a year where you're probably going to have a rookie quarterback or an aging player, like, let's just throw out a couple names, Russell Wilson, potentially, this won't happen, but Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, whoever's your starting quarterback, or even a rookie quarterback, or hell, Justin Fields. They're going to go into a team that is not set up to win, that does not have a great offensive line, that has one real weapon on offense, no running back, not a great defense, one of the worst secondaries in the NFL, and going with the hardest schedule in the NFL. Brian Daboll, Joe Schoen, they're going to get fired probably within the first 6 weeks of the season, so they're at a 70 for me. Let's go into the next one. The Dallas Cowboys, how hot are they? How much under pressure are they? They're about an 85. Dak is completely overpaid. He's making $60 million a year. CeeDee Lamb's making $34 million a year, and also Micah needs to get paid. And on top of that, you just lost an incredible offensive guard in Zach Martin, who just announced his retirement. Jerry Jones doesn't do free agency. His biggest free agent signing was Eric Kendricks last year, 1 year, $3 million. Out of the past 4 offseasons, they spent basically $44 million. I mean, that's some people's just cap space, let alone what they spent. That's just what they have to work with. And Jerry Jones, he just does not do free agency whatsoever. And also, they have 15 new coaches to their team. 10 that are just brand new to their team, and 5 that's first NFL experience. And they also have someone who's the QB fellowship coach. Again, someone out there, please inform me. What the hell is a QB fellowship coach? I've yet to figure that out. But wide receivers coach is brand new. QB fellowship, brand new. Offensive line coach, which, by the way, offensive line wasn't great last year either. He's going to be brand new. Defensive assistant, 2 of them, brand new. I mean, there's way too many moving parts for a team that is currently entirely brand new. Because Brian Schottenheimer's brand new. Mike Zimmer's gone. I mean, offensive line coach, wide receivers coach. I mean, they're all new. All new. Too many moving parts for a $60 million a year quarterback who isn't playing at his best whatsoever. So, Cowboys get a solid 85 on my mark. And who's under the most pressure, you might ask? It's the Buffalo Bills. They're at 100. I actually was going to blow it off the roof, but I couldn't find a good picture of a thermometer blowing up. But I think it's the Buffalo Bills. Oh, so close. You've almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. I feel like I've heard that before. Oh, wait, I have. The Bills always get so close, and they always fall flat. You have the MVP, who some people thought that this was kind of just it's the Joel Embiid MVP, if you will. Him versus Jokic. Jokic won it before. You give it to Embiid because he probably deserved it the prior year, and then we found out he wasn't really the MVP. Well, prove us wrong, Josh. I actually thought you would be the MVP because if you look at the efficiency stats, it's whatever the case may be. Prove it. This is your season to prove that you were actually deserving of that MVP. People have talked about that AFC Championship game, so let's actually recount that AFC Championship game, shall we? We always like to talk about the 3rd and 3 and then the 4th and inches, and was it a first down? There was 13 minutes left in the game. Make a play, or 2, or 5. You have time to make plays, and you didn't. 3:33 left in the game. You had multiple timeouts. Make a play. You didn't. Sean McDermott, his personnel I haven't heard this enough. Personnel choice in that AFC Championship game, I decided to dig even deeper than when we did our AFC Championship analysis. There were 22 plays in the 4th quarter. Ray Davis had 5 of those plays. He was out there for 5 of those plays. James Cook was out there for 8 of those plays. Ty Johnson was out there for 10. Might I add, Ray Davis, 0 yards. Ty Johnson, -1 yards. James Cook, 36 yards. 9 yards per touch. And he only was out there for 8 plays. What are we doing, Sean McDermott? What are we doing? It just seems like, and Josh Allen isn't the issue. He had a couple missed throws here and there, especially early. Could have been 2 interceptions on back-to-back plays. But Sean McDermott is the guy who really deserves to be under fire here. Because personnel choice is terrible. defensive calling. I mean, what are you doing? The bracket coverage with the 13 seconds left. And this game, your defense got cooked consistently. I mean, what are we doing here? Yeah, you're going to be successful. And just like Nick Wright said, he feels 100% confident that the Bills are going to at least host one playoff game every single season. And that might be true. But at some point, you got to figure out what's the issue here. Why aren't we getting over the hump? And in my opinion, it's Sean McDermott. It's been Sean McDermott. Year after year after year. Because if you look at the numbers, and Warren Sharp did a phenomenal job. I'm sure we'll talk about his analysis on Josh Allen. But Josh Allen, based on the numbers, is the most efficient playoff quarterback out of the last, I think, 25 years, something like that? The most efficient. So it's not Josh Allen. And I never really thought it was Josh Allen. Were there a couple misplays here and there? Yes. But every quarterback has those. When it's all said and done, Sean McDermott is the issue for the Buffalo Bills. Some people don't want to hear that. Some people completely agree with me. But if you take a look at it, if you take a look at the decisions that are made, like James Cook playing 8 snaps out of the 22 in the fourth quarter. By the way, that's not 22 total plays that the Bills had. 22 offensive plays. So take out special teams because they don't matter. Offensive plays. Ty Johnson, 10. James Cook, 8. And James Cook was the only running back to have positive yardage. Every single time he touched the ball, he averaged 9 yards a touch. And he wasn't out there at all. He was the only reason why the Bills were that far in the game anyway. I mean, we remember, down on the goal line, I mean, he was slam dunking the ball. I mean, it's crazy. That's my list. So Jaguars 25, Colts 35, Giants 70, Cowboys 85, and then the Bills break the thermometer at 100. Mm-hmm. So those are my most under pressure. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching this clip of the Harvey Hour. If you want to watch the full show, you can by clicking the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to take the show with you on the go, it is available wherever you get your podcast. We go live here on YouTube every single Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a video and whenever we go live.